Hey guys, welcome back to this week's Chanmaz videos, and we're opening another figure. So this episode we are going to be unboxing Ultramarines Hellblasters Sergeant Ulaxes. How else can we pronounce this? Ulaxes, Ulaxes. What do you guys think? Or do you know? If you're a player, let me know in the comments. This box is bigger, it's a little bit thicker than the other figure boxes. Lengthwise, it's pretty standard. On the back, same as, it's a nice standardized look here with the front, the back, close-up, and a picture of all the accessories. Sergeant Ulaxes here has a red helm that you can swap the heads out for. Comes with a pistol. Here we go. There's that holstered pistol. And what makes him really cool is the backpack attached with the cable for his Hellblaster. Alright, so let's get him out of the box and see how it looks. Okay, so normally, I'd get the figure out of the clamshell and whatnot, but I just wanted to start recording this one right away because, unlike the other figures, this guy is boxed horizontally instead of vertically, so he is laid out this way. Looks like, okay, so it's nice that they put the helm on. And just bring him up closer. Will it focus? It won't focus. That's a shame. I'm using a GoPro 11 and putting in 5.3K, and I guess it won't focus up close because it's not intended for this use. Wow, this head looks very familiar. It looks like one of my other Marine heads. I think it might be one of the aggressors. At least that's the one kind of mechanical eye and the open mouth screaming. It just resembles that one aggressor head. I'll look back in the videos and confirm later. Alright, so again, comes with a stand. Comes with a plasma pistol, so pretty standard issue at this point. And as I did point out with the box, it does come. Sorry, it does come with the holstered version. Take that out. And Sergeant Ulaxes has a mechanical arm, mechanical left arm. And this joint here is, holy, it's very tight. Very, very tight. We have our tight rotation. Got tight rotation here as well. And it's rotating at just below the elbow joint. And oh, nice bend there. So this is where it should be bending. This is the point of articulation right there. This is very floppy. So we have one point of articulation here at the wrist. We don't have that articulation in this arm, but we have it on the mechanical arm. We also have a rotation above the elbow, so we have 2 points of articulation above and below the elbow. I'm gonna try and this is really tight. Okay, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time off camera, figure out what's going on in a moment. I know I jinxed myself in the last video. I talked about how the figures haven't had any quality control issues except the one instance, and yeah, I jinxed myself. And yes, so even with my attempts to bend it, I already started, look at that. So and because I don't know if you can see that wiggle, that's why I want to figure out what's going on off camera. Yeah, that's not a good sign. It comes with 3 instead of 3 sets of hands. This comes with just 3 replacement fists. So we do have our left trigger hand, and then we have our open right fist and a closed right fist as well. This backpack is nicely tucked in there, and unlike the standard backpack, they have a separate piece glued on, so it's going to be thicker, and you have a nice set of cables running through. This is a very cool setup for the plasma cannon, or what is it called? Hellblaster. Hellblaster here, which with this setup I would imagine is many times more powerful compared to your plasma pistol. Alright, I will just take this off camera and see if I can find a nice safe way to bend that elbow articulation. Well, I went and did it. My greatest fear, I was trying to be careful with it, and it still broke. The peg that snaps in here, that was one piece with this elbow, and that plugged into the arm here. That piece snapped completely off. And I still can't move it. And I got cut. It's looking like a glue issue, so similar to my Ultramarines Invictor Warsuit. It looks like the glue just adhered to the elbow joint, thus causing it to be locked in. I can repair this, but this arm will no longer be strong enough in the sense for changing the poses. It might just become a static arm, and he'll have to wield, instead of holding it across his chest, he's just going to have to wield it with one hand in a pose where he's probably pointing it upward. I don't know what else I can do at the moment. I mean, I broke it myself trying to force it to bend, but it's also disappointing because it's a quality control issue, and that's one of the things. As I started, I jinxed myself by saying it, but yeah, this is the first figure I've had that problem. Sorry, first figure I've had an elbow and joint problem. I don't think it's anything I can't fix with my Gunpla skills and stuff, but yeah, it's just disappointing that this has happened. It's hard. I can't really blame Joy Toy because they don't, they're just manufactured, assembled, and then put in boxes. But it's definitely disappointing for how much money we as collectors spend, and they just have inconsistent product and quality control. I keep repeating that because I'm kind of at a loss right now. Very live reaction to what's happening as I record this video, but yeah, I'm going to end it here. It'll be a short video, at least for this what's happening right now. I'll probably get back to it after I've done repairs and show you. I won't publish this video. I will do my work, kind of sort out what's going on, and then record the video and attach it to here. So yeah, just stay tuned. But yeah, I'm personally just going to end the video here for now, and then edit it back on afterwards. So when you're watching the video, it's at a maybe a 5-minute mark. Just come back to it. All right, I'll be right back. Thanks. Okay, so yep, it was glue. I took my cutter knife and just slowly wedged it in on both sides, and I heard a distinct crack, which is breaking the glue off. And the moment I did that, it moves. So now I'm going to probably see if I have a pin that's small enough I can drill 2 holes. Well, there are already holes pre-drilled, so that's where the plastic broke. And glue it in without putting excess glue so that it seals the joint again. So that's what I'll have to take away and then reattach to the arm because I actually broke the glue seal in there when I popped it out and pulled that arm off. So that's going to be a little bit of work for me to do. Just not too much time, not too much work, but I just hope I have a pin that's narrow enough for me to do that repair. Don't want to lose the pieces, and I'm going to come back with another edit to add on to this afterwards. So this is actually, as I got the glue on, got it glued in. I don't have pins and a drill bit that small. I don't have pins narrow enough to fit that little peg. So I just used Tamiya's ABS cement, and it appears to be working. I don't know how strong the bond will be, but at least I didn't get extra glue in, so it's moving. As I was gluing this, I don't know if it's ironic, if I should use the term ironic, I use the term funny. The reason why I do that is, well, as you see here, Sergeant Ulaxes here lost his arm in battle originally. That's why he's got the mechanical arm. And now he's lost his mechanical arm as well. So I just thought that was a tad bit of humor that I thought was pretty funny. He loses his arm in battle and loses it again in an unboxing with me. So I hope you enjoyed that joke and thought that was pretty funny. Then as I was removing the gunless holster to replace it, I'm like, oh, their sizes, well, they're not even the same because he's got a seal here, but the pistols are even the same. Look at the size of that. This won't even fit in there. So continuity error, I guess. But yeah, this is just turning out to be quite the funny video and the funny experience. I'm going to laugh at it now that I figured out what the problem is. I got an option to repair it. And again, you know, he loses his arm and he's got a mechanical arm, and his mechanical arm is also lost and broken now. All right, that's it. That's it for this video. This guy's unboxing is done. Next time I do a shelf walkthrough or a shelf kind of video where I just kind of pan through my shelf, you'll see him. He will be there. His arm will be fixed. And if I remember, I'll share an update on whether or not this repair works and holds so that I can flex and bend his arm. I will be mindful. I mean, he won't be wielding it too well because it's not exactly an open hand, which allows him to kind of grasp the underbarrel. So he might literally just stand there with his arm, or I might swap out the plasma pistol and put it in this trigger hand. I'll decide that once I get up there, but yeah, this guy is pretty much done. He's going to be standing there and won't be articulated around with to put in a cool pose, just because, well, you know, it's broken and I don't know how well that repair will hold. I might need to figure out how to put more glue on the edges in the front and the back. Maybe helps strengthen that bond, but for now, that's it. Okay. Hey guys, alright, so I did a lot of searching around in my tools and stuff, and I did manage to find a drill bit and I don't know what this is called, this pin that I use that fits the elbow joint. So they're small enough, but in long enough that I can use to make a repair. And so that's why I was able to get him fixed. There's his mechanical arm. It's not perfect. It's weaker and a little bit more loose than I had hoped. I actually screwed up on it myself. And let me see if I can... I'll actually take it apart and show you what was required to get this fixed. So the peg, the black peg, is in the arm now. And this joint here, there's the pin. Not sure how well that comes out, but there's the pin that I drilled in, and I drilled a hole in so that the pin will go in and stay in position. What was an unfortunate incident though, so this arm, this piece comes into two pieces to the left and right, and while gluing the pin itself, unfortunately the glue did get in here, and I had to then break this off on one end, and then that's why it's lopsided. I have a peg and a hole on the other end, but on this side here, it had to be cut off, and that was my own carelessness. I actually had to break it off afterwards. If I had spent a bit more time separating this piece first, I wouldn't have had this problem. So that's my own mistake for not being more careful, but it was a fix that was able to be done. And then later in the evening, I took the hair dryer, and these are thin, much thinner fingers than the standard hand, so I was able to, with the hair dryer, just open that up a bit so it does grip underneath better than it normally would. So the last thing I need to do now is to actually finalize the repair by reattaching it and then just gluing these pegs back together so that it doesn't fall apart so easily. So yeah, we just have to put glue here and here and on each side very carefully so that I don't glue this joint here and prevent him from rotating. So yeah, I'm considering drilling here and putting a pin on the from this right side and putting it through to the left side. That's probably what I'll do first to make sure that it just locks in better, and then very lightly just glue on the outside so it doesn't get anything in on this slot here and prevent the rotation. But yeah, so spent about an hour on it last night figuring out how to do this and fix it properly. It will fit in. The pin does not fall out easily, and it will allow me to continue with some of the articulation that I was hoping for, and still let me put it in a pose that fits on the shelf, and with a I guess an aiming pose that I had wanted to place him in, since this is a much larger weapon than the other rifles. Alright, I really hope that this video does help you see how the figures are assembled in case you need to take something apart yourself. Learn from my mistakes and avoid, you know, the gluing here. The regular arms are not designed the same way, so I think this is just the standard design for any figures who have the replacement of the arms, where they're using the mechanical arms versus their natural arms. Alright, so this is really it. This is going to be the last video. Actually, no, you know what? Let me do the repair and edit and splice together all these little clips so that you can see the final result. Alright, that's it for now. Okay, so here is the final repair and assembly. Put a ton of... So I pinned it, and I don't know if the camera can capture, because I'm using a GoPro and not my phone, so I can't zoom in. But I pinned it. You can see the pin right through there. And then I glued all around, and then I sanded off the excess glue after it's dried, so that should lock in place nicely. And then because this side right here, this end right here, is the original peg, whereas on this side you see it's been cut off. And just for a little added stability, I pinned this on the pin this here so that it can go into this hole for additional support. This tabs back in, and then everything should fit back in together. I will be applying glue on these two through the outside, and hopefully it won't be too much glue that it will seal this here. And that should be it. So this is repaired, and let's just see how it moves if I need to do any more sanding. So it is a slightly loose, which is not a bad thing, because I don't know how strong the support, that pin and everything is. So if it's too tight, I risk putting stress and breaking it again. So slightly loose, it works for me. And the main thing is, again, is I can put it in the pose that I want it to, and it won't, I'm not playing with it, so he'll just be standing on the shelf holding that pose, and that's really all I'm asking. That's my goal here on this figure. So all right, this is finally it. That's it. I won't make any more videos about this guy other than showing him standing on the shelf. I might do some weathering because he is not very weathered in the sense of shading and stuff. So that's really the only thing I'll do with this guy. All right, thanks so much for watching. Yeah, like I said, this will be the last video clip I'm going to edit onto this. Thanks so much for watching. Please share your thoughts and comments. And if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed seeing how this breaks down quality control and different tips I gave with how I made this repair, please give the channel a subscribe. I will be posting more repair and other things as we go along, as I apply my gunpla building skills to these things. All right, thanks again. See you in the next video.